Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. It's going to be my one and only chance at the $35 Greyhound. I'm in the 30-second lobby waiting for one to fill, and we're going to get right into it. Let's see if we can get some of that luck through 42 best ball manias, only one Jamar Chase. And so let's see if we can turn that around tonight in this solo bullet for the Greyhound. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. Come on in, get in the chat, get your fantasy football strategy questions answered. A lot of sharp people in this community hang around. We talk Dynasty, we talk best ball. Of course, we're ripping best ball drafts all summer long. So come be a part of it. Make sure you slap the like on the way in and say what up in the chat. Let's kick it to the intro. But overall, it's like the guy can ball. Like actions speak louder than words. How we doing tonight? What's going on, fellas? Omega King in the house. How you doing, brother? Hope you had a great weekend. Getting ready for your Monday. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I think it is close. Maybe the pendulum has swung too far in the wide receiver direction. If you had to pick one first round wide receiver who's going to disappoint, not return value without injury, but just who's going to underproduce and not return value in the first round, I don't know for sure. But there's definitely a lot of talented young receivers. It just to me feels like Achane, Jonathan Taylor, both viable first round picks going in the second round. So looking to maybe increase my exposure to those two running backs. Of course, already got a good amount of Bucky. What up, Jason? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're having a great Sunday evening. Let me know, you guys. Have you already ripped your Greyhound? I wasn't really saving it. I was just trying to find the right time to do it. Tonight seems like that time. So I've jumped in. I'm waiting on one, a 30-second Greyhound. It's a 2 out of 12 advance, of course, but then it gets a little different. The pods go to 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4, and only a 53-person seat final for $30,000 up top. Not bad. I'm in the 9 spot. Like I always say, I was born in the back end of the draft. That's where I live. So nothing new here. Let's see what we can get into. And very interesting room. Okay. This one's about to kick off. And maybe after this, we can rip another draft. Let me know in the chat if you're feeling eliminators. If we can fill a sprint, I'd be impressed. Or what you're drafting. Are the Puppy Butt Superflex? I'd have to check, but it's like 40% filled. I was talking with a bunch of other people when it opened, and I said, "Does this thing fill before July?" And they said, "No, it probably is open into July, but it's 41% filled. We're just over a week into June. I think it fills in the next 2.5 weeks at the most." I've got a few slow drafts going. It's mostly those marathons, a few eliminators. Here's this new Greyhound that I'm in. Bijan goes at the 3. Yeah. What up, brother? Still got your Greyhound? I don't blame you. I think it'll fill pretty slowly. It's not yet at 50% filled. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes. I thought I'm ready to get it over with because I've been drafting a ton. I think I drafted like 12 best ball manias in the last 4 or 5 days. I'm feeling warmed up. I've been in the batter's box, taking a few practice swings, hitting balls at the range. Let's see what we can do. Let's risk it. Let's get a little risky and see if we can win something. I would have loved McCaffrey there. I'm going to take Nico Collins. Boom. One of my favorite clicks on the board. Too easy. If you saw the stream last night with Hartman and I in the second Best Ball Mania draft we did, I think we were in the 11th spot. Might have been the 10, but always in the back end of the board. Speak of the devil. What up, dog? How you doing? And we took Nico, but we got sniped on Stroud, which is like infuriating. Stroud went before ADP, which almost never happens. But he did go to the Jaden Higgins drafter, so I can't hate on it too much, but I hate getting a Best Ball Mania team with Nico in the first round and not having Stroud. It just and I have done it before with Herbert. So playing out the Chargers side of that Week 17 game, but man, it just feels so much nicer if you can get Stroud cheaply at a decent value. Pick 130, pick 130 range, 129, 136, all of that stuff. So we'll see what we can cook up here. And I mean, I like all of these receivers. London, Brown, McConkey. And this is, of course, my Best Ball Mania exposures, so it's not really applicable to this contest, but I have taken some of each. I'm a little bit tempted to go McConkey. I'm a little bit tempted to go Achane or Taylor. I think I'm going to go ahead and take... Oh, son of a... I was going to take Achane right there. What about Bucky? Let me think about this. Why not? Let's do it. Pulled up Bucky Irving a few spots. Really making a big bet on Nico Collins. Omega, have you ripped your Greyhound yet? And yeah, I really would have gotten Achane there. I mean, Bucky, also excited to get him. We'll see. I like the receiver options at the end of the third round, so I wanted to just grab Bucky and make sure I had a running back that I really like. Yo, what up, Davis? How we doing, brother? So out of the loop. Welcome in. Come get back in the loop. Come get familiar with the ADPs. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Always great to see you. What's going on? How's your Sunday night going? Hope you guys are ready for a strong week. It's getting hot out there. My AC broke over the weekend. Holy, just, I tried to fix it on my own Friday night, Saturday morning. Called the repair guys to come by. Luckily, they made it a priority. Got out here Saturday morning, afternoon. Coming back tomorrow to finish some things up. But in Houston, 90-degree plus heat in the summer right now. 70% humidity. You can't go long without the AC. Luckily, I got a backup plan. I installed a window unit in my kitchen that I've got in my garage as a backup in case the power goes out during hurricanes and all those other things, natural disasters. Being in the tropics here in Houston, get a lot of storms, a lot of hurricanes during the summer months. So I'm always ready. And that helped. But yeah, feeling a lot better. The AC's blowing right now. Feels great. And yeah, ready for a nice week. Didn't make it to the pool this weekend, so that was on my list. I got my to-do list right here. Go to the pool. Didn't happen. Been under the weather the last 4 days. Feeling just fine though. On some OTC Advil. sinus cough medicine. We're going to power through. Took a nap today. Almost never do that. But I'm feeling mentally sharp to attack this draft, fire off my single bullet entry to the Greyhound. It's a 30-second Greyhound draft. And after this, let me know you guys want to do an eliminator, a marathon, or a sprint, maybe even. Although I haven't had any luck filling the sprint. I'm not crazy about the marathon. There's a pick here. Oh, hell yes. I really wanted Davante Adams here. I think Davante Adams should be a second-round pick. You could argue Davante Adams over Garrett Wilson, over Marvin Harrison, Rashee Rice. Start to where I lean Rice. Terry McLaurin, toss-up. I'm not really excited about Tyreek Hill. I wonder, from what we saw last year, like what's going on. JSN, I'm starting to get back into. I had JSN behind Davante Adams. I think I moved him up in my ranks in the last 2 days. Just listen to other sharp drafters, what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And it's never bad to take a shot on a year 2, year 3 wide receiver who's shown a little something. So that's kind of keeping me in on JSN. Not super excited about the Seahawks, although we're anticipating them to run a lot of 21 personnel and 12 also. So they're going to, with Mike McDaniel, they're going to be running the ball a lot, focusing on the defense. Yes, get your guys, and that's what I'm doing. I'm getting Nico Collins. I'm getting Bucky Irving. I'm getting Davante Adams. Who's here for my next pick? Oh, I freaking love Breece Hall. I like T-Mac as well. J-Mo, I don't mind Daniels. Might go DK here. Decisions. I think I'm just feeling DK. I'm going to take DK here. Get some of my guys. I don't know. What's DK Metcalf's ceiling with Aaron Rodgers? Is it similar to what he had with Geno? Is it a little bit higher? Where else is Aaron Rodgers going to be throwing the ball? Who's he going to be targeting? Calvin Austin's good for... Let's just take a look at the Steelers. Jalen Warren, good for 40, 50 targets. Freiermuth, good for 60 targets, 70 targets. Calvin, good for 50, 60, 70. And DK ceiling with Geno was about 140 targets. I think that was the year Geno was there, wasn't it? Am I crazy? Was it 2022? Or was Geno just the last 2 seasons? I guess we could figure that out. No. Geno Smith was on the Seahawks in 2022. He put up numbers. 572 for 4,200 with 30 touchdowns. That, to me, looks similar to what we could expect from Aaron Rodgers this season. I don't think he's washed. I think he can get there. A little bit low in the yardage last year. So I'm somewhat expecting Metcalf to go from the 110, 120 target range back up to this 140. And it's not like, I mean, he's an efficiency-based guy. So we saw what he did 2021, 2022, 2023. I think he can bounce back strong. Seems like the alpha. Yeah. Win a contest means you can get AC. Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely that puts me back a little bit, fixing the AC. But you got to do it. Me too. Like I was just kind of going through with DK. We'll see what we can get into with him. I wanted my third alpha receiver. And I like the running backs I can typically get at 57, 64. Maybe even pick 81. So I'm going to leave it open. There's a bunch of running backs I like here. Afraid of Nick Chubb? I don't think I am. I don't know. Am I afraid of Nick Chubb? I don't think so, but other people might be. Let me just see if I can push Mixon around. I'm going to go Ken Walker. Seems like a great pick for this team. Make one of these teams figure out if they want to catch a falling Mixon. I'll definitely do it with my next pick. I think Ken Walker versus Mixon's a little bit closer now with the Chubb news. He's going to sign tomorrow, according to some of the Texans beat writers, and you guys have seen it in the news too. Yeah, I like that. That's a good take. I would expect. Ooh, Mixon at 60 is, I think, probably about right. Pretty nice. I've got Nico, so it's like, do I make the bet on the Texans, the team bet, or am I also negatively correlating a running back with the receiver who I want to get the touchdowns in week 17 type of deal? I think when I think of the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, I see them passing in the red zone a little bit more than just power running it. We'll see if Caleb Johnson is the guy in his rookie year. And Jalen Warren's never been a touchdown merchant. I mean, he's famously got like, 6 touchdowns in his career? Exactly 6, which sounds like Alvin Kamara's what he could do on a Sunday. Yeah, Kamara would have been a guy I would have loved to have gotten there. Henderson seems like a good pick in this one. I'm going to go Henderson. Get your guys. Bet on talent. 3 really strong running backs and receivers to start this one. I'm going to push QB a little bit because the guys that line up with the receivers I've taken don't go early. So let me grab a tight end before it's too late. Maybe build out. I mean, I could push tight end also. I could do a 3 tight end and take them later. We'll see what comes around at 81. Not a bad 81, 88, not a bad spot to grab a tight end if he's there. If one of the guys I'm thinking of is there in round 7, another guy in round 8. I definitely would have taken Mixon or Kamara over Henderson, but I like the upside with a rookie pick. So far, I mean, this draft is going pretty much how I would expect. I haven't drafted today to see how far Mixon falls. Let me know in the chat, what's the furthest you've seen Joe Mixon fall today if you've been drafting? Because he went pick 60, and that's about 8 spots after ADP. So him falling a half round seems about right. If Chubb is now 2 years removed from the knee injury and does take a little bit of the workload, not a ton though, I think there's a spot for Chubb that doesn't truly affect Mixon's ceiling all that much. But maybe some of the touchdowns, I could see Mixon converting touchdowns at a better rate than Dameon Pierce or Woody Marks would have. Yeah. Ooh. Hartman, do you remember when DK Metcalf was like thought to be the wide receiver 1 overall in Dynasty? There was, I think it was 2020. There was a quick minute where that was not absurd to think. So I would like to see that. I mean, he's not the complete receiver that Devontae Adams is, but maybe with Aaron Rodgers, he's a little bit elevated. That's a good point. Pace is a concern. When I think of DK, though, I don't know that he has to get there off of volume. He can also get there with some big plays, some efficiency. So that's a good point. What up, Anthony? How you doing, brother? Hope your Sunday is going well. Winning the flex. Nick Bach. What's good? How's your weekend going, my man? Keeping the streams going. Love to see it. Yeah, was that before or around the same time as the news? Because I feel like we're going to see Mixon going potentially in the sixth round, early sixth round. To me, makes a lot of sense, and I'll probably grab him there often enough. Yeah, I remember that too. Okay, through 6 rounds, and I'm coming up on my 7th pick at 81 overall in this 32nd Greyhound. Got Nico, Bucky, Devontae Adams. Hashtag get your guys season. Single entry tournament. $30,000 up top. DK Metcalf, Kenneth Walker, Travion. I would have loved Sam Laporta in this round. TJ Hawkinson in the next round. Not meant to be. Let's get another one of my guys. Mr. Matthew Golden. Past ADP. And then kind of surprise for you. I don't know if you guys saw this Friday night when Bindles and I were drafting. He put together a Matthew Golden clip. It gets flagged for the audio, so I might have to remix the audio a little bit, but it's whatever. It's no big deal. I'll run the clip in a few seconds after I make this next pick. There's probably, I pick 88. There's probably 2 receivers I would really love to get. Ooh, Josh Downs wouldn't have been bad either. So there's 3 that I have in mind. I don't know that I have to go running back right here. So I'm hoping one of these receivers comes back. There goes number 2. Not a Mahomes team for me. Not a Kyler Murray. A little bit too early for Fields, but not insane. What kind of week 17 stuff do I need to cook up? Not too much. It's a really small final, so not super focused on that. Really just getting my guys. Damn, Ibuka goes. I could pull up Jaden Higgins. I might do that. Or just go Aaron Jones. Let's make a bet that the Vikings are still a good team. Aaron Jones maybe loses some work out to Jordan Mason. I'm very high on Jordan Mason, but a little bit of value on Aaron Jones, a guy that can have big spike weeks in a great offense. I mean, I could even stop at 4 running backs in this one if I needed to. Thought about taking Jaden Higgins. He goes in the very next couple picks. I would definitely want to do that to secure the Nico double stack to get CJ Stroud. Now I have to worry again about the drafter in the 6th spot, although he does have Joe Burrow completely unstacked. So love to see it. Could he take Stroud at pick 126 and just really piss me off? Almost certainly. We'll see if he forgets. Maybe he'll focus on Stafford, Tua, Cam Ward, Geno Smith. You know, if I was him, I would. But he also took an unstacked Joe Burrow. Anything could happen. Over Aaron Jones, I would have considered Egbuka for the late season upside. I think he's a stud. Mooney and Downs. But I'll take Aaron Jones there. Slight faller. Yeah, no, I didn't get flagged. Just got the copyright little tag, but no big deal. So it should be fine. Yo, what up, JT? How you doing tonight, brother? Hope your Sunday's going good. Looking forward to getting to another draft together soon. This is the 32nd Greyhound, my single entry. So far, so good. Getting my guys pretty balanced through 8 rounds. 4 receivers, 4 running backs. Just how I like to do it. Definitely looking for some later QB options. Let me know, have you fired off your Greyhound yet? Anyone watching out there, have you done your Greyhound? How did it go? I know Nick Bach did. Hartman sounds like he did it earlier today. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's been a while. That's a throwback for sure. I didn't know there was a new one out. Probably go Mark Andrews here, considering none of the drafters in the 10, 11, 12 spot have a tight end. Nothing I can do with Nix, Williams, or Purdy in particular. And then I kind of view these next receivers in a similar way. There goes Luther Burden, might have been the biggest upside pick of the Shaheed Bateman group, but I like Shaheed. I like Bateman. I wouldn't have minded Coleman either. He goes. I definitely don't really need another running back immediately. Maybe Sharps goes off the board. I don't want to take him with Ken Walker necessarily. Feels like the perfect time to take Mark Andrews. And then, yeah, the guys are going after tight ends and QBs in this range. Kind of get Shaheed to fall to me would be real nice. I don't want to have to take Najee, but I will. Or I could go to Tootin. I mean, if Bindles was here, he would take Tootin. I'm going to go Shaheed. I like Shaheed. He's good. Hopefully he's healthy after the knee injury last year. I think he's somewhat quarterback proof as well. Just a talented receiver. In the 10th round, sign me up for some Rashid Shaheed. I think you could argue he should be going in the 8th round. People are a little bit afraid of the Saints. Not me. I'll take good players on bad teams. But wouldn't it make sense, structurally? So far through the first 10 rounds, no QBs on this one, no quarterbacks. 4 running backs. I got Irving, Walker III, Henderson, and Aaron Jones. That feels good. I could definitely stop at 5. Almost certainly will stop at 5. Could even stop with those 4 if I really feel like building out a hyper fragile team. It just would have to make sense. We'll kind of get into later what that would look like. Because I have Mark Andrews, I'm also tempted to go 2 tight end, which makes me even more likely to take a 5th running back at some point. The receivers, I think it could be a little stronger, but it's plenty. It's not too weak. With Nico, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, and Shaheed, we just really need Golden to hit the ground running and produce, which I think he can. I think he will. I've got outs. All of the quarterbacks that stack with my wide receivers are currently still draftable. Obviously, Lamar's gone. I got a mini week 17 with Golden and Andrews. That's about it so far on the week 17 matchups. I'm not super worried about week 17 matchups. Obviously, I want high scoring games for my players to do well, but I don't think you have to, in a 53 person final, worry about it to the same extent you would if there was hundreds of people. You might be more likely to have similar lineups some of the same players, and maybe you'd really need that. You could need that bring back to hit for you. Maybe one of the games goes off and is the highest scoring game of the week kind of thing. You want a big part of that. That would still benefit you a lot in this tournament. But I think you can probably win a 53-person final with a slightly lower score than you would need to win like a final with hundreds of people, for instance. McCarthy at 127. I was really watching the drafter in the 6th spot, making sure he didn't take Stroud. Would have been a little bit heartbroken there. And I'm not going to push my luck. Or will I? I mean, Loveland there is pretty nice. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to take Christian Kirk. It also eliminates the ability for anyone else to grab Kirk and then tap Stroud for like a 1-2 at the turn. I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling like Jordan Love and Trevor Lawrence are going to provide a small buffer for me. I'm pretty sure the drafter Brian Thomas, he would take Trevor Lawrence ahead of Stroud. I didn't think the Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson drafter would go for Stroud. Let's go. I've got the Stroud double stack with Nico and Christian Kirk. I think Christian Kirk offers some early season upside. I wonder if Jalen Noel pushes him for the job, but I don't mind it. Getting the double stack feels good. I've got a Charger in mind that goes very late that I could grab. I don't know where Trey Harris went. He would have been a fun click. Looks like Trey Harris went pretty early. Relatively early, pick 97. So I never had a good shot to get him. And I probably would have still wanted Mark Andrews with the way I'm building this team. To a draft only taking good players on bad teams, says Hartman. That would be fun. Maybe for like an eliminator and just make the assumption that you get some kind of value out of people slightly fading the bad teams, like taking a bunch of, and it's all like relative. Like what does this, like psychologically, like what do the drafters think are bad teams? Because a lot of people will take the Patriots and the Bears relatively high, in my opinion, but those are technically bad teams. So I would think bad teams would be like Colts players, Saints players. I don't know. What else? Who else are bad teams, like objectively bad teams? Maybe you could say Panthers, although T-Mac and Chuba are some people's favorites in those earlier rounds. I guess the Steelers are considered a bad team. The Browns, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and take Thielen there. Seems like it helps out my wide receiver room, gets me to 7 wide receivers. Maybe I can get Bryce Young with my next pick. I don't have a great way to get to Cam Ward. I think he's also a good pick in this range, but I didn't really build out any Titans, and I don't really like the back stacking options for Cam Ward all that much. I'd probably go Stafford here otherwise. Well, maybe I still go Stafford. I don't know. Who's a better pick, Matt Stafford or Bryce Young? Most people would say Bryce Young. I do have Devontae Adams. Bryce Young's really easy to backstack, though, so I kind of like that. Stafford's not terrible either, though. With Bryce Young, I mean, the connections to Thielen and then whatever I can get later, I think I'll just do that. Maybe, you never know. Maybe the Puka drafter should take Stafford here at 63. At the very latest, 74. So there's almost no chance he comes back around. Feel good about Bryce Young, though. Yeah, the Puka drafter gets Stafford. I'm fine with it. Let me know in the chat. If you want to jump into this next draft, I'm feeling more of like a or I don't know. What could we get into? What should we do next? This is a 30-second Greyhound draft. Single entry. Two, 4, 7, 1 build. Dowdle does kind of make some sense in this one. So does Hunter. So does Dobbins, in my mind. Love Alec Pierce. Pierce goes. What tight ends are available? I'm going to wait. I think Dowdle's the obvious choice here. Team level correlation. Fits the team nicely. Good chance one of these guys is still there on my next pick. I could easily stop at 5 running backs. Pick 184, then 201 with my next two. One of these 3 picks has to be a tight end, if not 2 of them. So I'm likely done at running back. Could I be done at receiver? I could be done at receiver. Dobbins is there. Coker is there. I'm almost certain I want to take Rodgers. I think I will. Maybe he's there at pick 201. Why risk it? Get my third QB. Feel good about it. I'd probably take Aaron Rodgers over Sam Darnold 9.5 out of 10 times. QB's still around. Daniel Jones. Never that good. Sure, he has got rushing upside. There's a bench risk. There's a Anthony Richardson risk. Same thing. Dart. I don't have a way to get there on this team. Don't have any Giants. Could have taken Shuck, I guess. Not the best connection. I mean, just Shaheed. So I feel good about going Aaron Rodgers. After I didn't get Stafford, I went Young instead. I think I decided then that I would wait and take Aaron Rodgers later. I would have had to double tap Stafford and Bryce Young, and then I'd have to be getting Coker instead of Rodgers. So I think, in my mind, Thielen, Young, Rodgers is slightly better than Stafford, Young, Coker. That could be close. That could be a close one. I don't know if I really believe Aaron Rodgers would make it back past ADP to pick 201. I assume he's going to be continuing to rise. So with an ADP of like 196, 198 or whatever, I see a couple teams that only have one QB. Fuboy has one QB. He took Jalen Hurts a long time ago. Double stacked him with AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. He kind of missed the train, and Dallas Goedert. Wow. He kind of missed the train at QB. So now he's going to have to almost certainly take Dart or Daniel Jones with his next pick. 2-2 goes. Rodgers over Darnold 10 out of 10 times. Yeah, I think so too. The only thing I could see is like, for some reason you accidentally had JSN and Cooper Kupp on a team, or like Charbonnet and JSN, and you didn't have a single Steeler, then you might not want to backstack Rodgers. Obviously, Freiermuth would have been pretty nice on this one. I didn't see where he went. It must have been really early. Oh, there it is, 162. Pretty early. I need a tight end. Oh, Coker's still there. I'm gonna push Coker because I don't need the double stack with Young. I'm gonna take Conklin. Fits this team nicely. Gives me a like I said earlier, a bring back on the Chargers that goes late. I think Conklin's good. I think he and Juwan Johnson are very similar, so I slightly lean Conklin in this situation. Easily could have gone Juwan Johnson. I still might. I could go 3 tight end on this build. Feel pretty good about the wide receivers. If Coker goes, I might take Juwan Johnson. If they both go, I might change it up, go with Calvin Austin or Wicks. What else would make sense? I don't think there's any Browns left that I'd even want, and it's not really worth forcing a Browns pick. Terrence Ferguson's interesting at the least. Obviously, Mitchell's fun on any team. That's about it. Taj Brooks is fun on any team. I don't think I need the running back, though. The running backs feel strong with those first 4. That's going to cover my lineup. And they don't have any buys overlapping for the first 4. That'll just kind of, maybe a contingent play. Or maybe he still gets some work. I don't know. Would you guys take a 6 running back here? It's going good, man. How you doing, Steve? What's up, brother? What are you drafting tonight? Hitting the Superflex streets? Okay, Coker's still there. I said I would have taken Coker or Juwan Johnson. Does Coker make more sense than Calvin Austin? I'm going to go Coker. Maybe Thielen's an early season play. Coker's a late season play. Maybe they're both just good. I have a 3-5-8-2 build in this 30-second Greyhound single entry. I think there's like 57 or so thousand entries into this tournament. It's about 40% filled or so. $30,000 grand prize. 53-person final. The advance is 2 out of 12, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 4. I went with a team of get your guys. Stroud, Bryce Young, Aaron Rodgers. A late 3 QB approach. Ooh, Nick Chubb with the last pick. That's kind of fun. Oh, I could have gone Chubb on this one. That could have been an interesting pick. If I didn't take Dowdle earlier, Chubb would have been a nice finishing piece on this one. Although Freiermuth was already gone by pick 177, so it's not like I was kind of saving for a certain tight end or anything. The running backs, I pull up Bucky Irving after taking Nico Collins, my first round pick from the 9 spot. Ken Walker, Travion, Aaron Jones, and Rico Dowdle. That's the running back room. 5 of them seems good enough. The wide receivers, not the strongest I've ever built, but definitely could be just right. Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, 3 alpha receivers. Got Matthew Golden, of course, an upside play that I love. Hopefully hits the ground running, is the primary target for the Packers. Shaheed, I think, is a nice value there. Christian Kirk gets the double stack. I pushed Stroud around the corner, still got him. And then I took Thielen, then grabbed Bryce Young, and then took Jalen Coker with my last pick. Seems about right. So I've got pretty good depth at wide receiver to make up for only really having 3 early receiver picks, and then Golden somewhat early, but of course might need some veteran depth with Shaheed, Kirk, and Thielen if Matthew Golden, for whatever reason, is more of a late season play. I think Andrews and Conklin can get it done. Plenty of targets to go around for these 2 guys. And that's the Greyhound. It's done. One and done. Somehow I knew I'd be firing off a Nico Collins team. I kind of had it in the back of my head that if I was drafting from like anywhere from pick like 2 to 6 or 7, maybe even, I would consider pulling Nico there and then trying to pair him up with like a Bucky or a Jonathan Taylor anyways. Maybe a Brock Bowers. Something just a little different. Didn't have to, though. Got him kind of right where he goes. Yeah, I think I'm good with those 5 too. Although I did see Nick Chubb going late, and that got. I'm not super in on Nick Chubb. I don't know how much I'll draft him. I haven't drafted him to this point, but him being on the Texans, and if he passes his physical tomorrow, I might start working him in if we hear more positive things about him. Nice. Yeah, I didn't know when I was going to do it. I kept putting it off, saying I'll do it tomorrow, and then felt like the right night to do it. All right, let's transition. I'm going to close this poll if I can find it. I'm going to close this poll. Make sure you voted Achan or JT. Or other in the chat. I'm not sure what we've gotten from those results yet. But generally, Achan probably should be going in the first round. I think I agree. GM, Texas Politics. What's up, brother? How's your Sunday night going? Appreciate you stopping by. Have you fired off your Greyhound yet? I just finished mine. Felt pretty good about it. Boom. I haven't turned on this banner in literally 2 months. Might as well run it a little bit. Make sure you hit like on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed, especially if you're new, if you're watching this later. Come get in the chat. Say what's up. Draft with us. Get your fantasy, football, and best ball strategy questions answered. Gonna be drafting, streaming every day, all summer long. So you know where to find it. What do you guys think? Throw something in the chat. Yeah, Eliminator. Jason, still here. Lurking. Appreciate you. I think Eliminator. I'm going to hop into a 30-second Eliminator. Let's just see how close it is to fill. If it's not very close, I'll jump into the 20-second. So hold tight. Let's get right into it. If you want to draft an Eliminator and you're hearing me right now, I've probably already entered the 30-second. And I'm going to let y'all know how far it is to fill. Waiting for 5, I think we can do it. I think we can fill an Eliminator. So I'm going to type it in the chat so you know. 30-second Eliminator. Eliminator +4. Big dog? What about WNBA dailies? I'll draft a big dog if you come on stream right now. In front, half the cost. I will draft a big dog with you, Hartman. I'm joking, but I'm also dead serious. Hell yeah! What up, James Young? How you doing, brother? Night on the town last night. Probably took it easy today. Probably slept in a little bit. How's your Sunday going, my friend? Four more. Oh shit, I'm busy. Totally would though. Yeah, I'm busy too, actually. I'm back. I do need to blow my nose a little bit. So I'm gonna go do that off stream. Let me roll this sick clip that Bindles put together and shared with me. Based on waiting on 3 more. It's gonna fill close. It's gonna fill soon. Get in here if you want. Saving the Greyhound to stay away from you, Degens. Yeah, I kind of did the same. I didn't have anyone I knew in that 30-second Greyhound, so it felt appropriate. A mix of badges and non-badges. It all went well. Didn't get sniped on Stroud like I did last night with Hartman, so I'm pretty happy about it. I want to show y'all this clip that Bindles put together. It's 29 seconds. We'll see how close we are to filling this 30-second Eliminator when I come back from the clip. I'm going to blow my nose, but I'm going to run this clip. It's pretty hilarious. It's a Matthew Golden clip. We drafted Matthew Golden in the Greyhound, so in honor. Roll the clip.
Ocean Wisner's already in the backfield.
Ich bin jeden Tag geek, ich lauf rum, genau so wie Zach Valley. What the hell? 2.5 my Steve Exotic, Travis Kelly. What the hell?
Golden makes the catch despite getting hit.
Steve von Ball lässt dich verschwinden, kann Zaubertricks wie Harry. Was zum Fick? Sie sagen Männer ohne Geld sind ihr ein Geek. Was zum Fick? Bitch, ich weiß überhaupt nicht mal, wer du bist. Was zum Fick? Ich hab Hälfte bei meinem Rucksack viel Gewicht. Was zum Fick? Ey!
That gets me fired up. I don't know what song that is. The kids these days. Still waiting on 2 people. Let me share something with y'all. If you haven't seen this already. Yeah, fire. It's pretty good. It's slightly obnoxious, kind of in a good way though. Like for the memes. I mean, those are 2 of my favorite plays. Woo, Matthew Golden. 4th and 3. Hold up. False start, 5-yard penalty, Texas, back him up, 4th and 8, Quinn Ewers in the pocket, the deep ball, threads the needle right to Matthew Golden in overtime, double overtime. They go on to win the game. That's clutch right there. Big time plays. You know what they say, big time players making big time plays. Draft Matthew Golden. Only waiting on 1. Nice. Well, I'm going to show y'all something. If you don't already know, what do I need? Here it is. Boom. This. Me here. That seems fine. Like and subscribe. Also, Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out soon on Netflix. I don't know if it'll be any good, but probably my favorite sports movie of all time. Probably Happy Gilmore. Hate me all you want. I'm a big Sandler fan. If that doesn't get you across the finish line, if you haven't already hit the like, if you're not subscribed for whatever reason, boom. Maybe this will get you. This is literally my favorite movie of all time. Well, favorite action movie, favorite sci-fi movie. The first movie I ever had on DVD, or that my dad ever bought on DVD, The Matrix. I think I was like, what year was that? Was that 1999? I must have been, 7, 8, whatever. Pretty incredible stuff. Mind-blowing. I mean, it's Terminator 2. It's The Matrix. It's... I don't know. What's your favorite movie in the chat? All time. All time. Any movie, any genre. Those are two of my favorites. Boom. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite comedies of all time. Step Brothers just hit at the perfect moment when I was in high school. Probably one of the most quotable movies of all time. And also one of the weirdest plots of all time. But it gets it done. Join the circle of trust. Get in here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm also a big Meet the Parents fan. Probably one of my favorite comedies. Almost certainly. Just like that, we're on the clock from the 6th spot in this 30-second eliminator. You already know I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's see who's in here. Matrix is so dang good. Oh, Jason, you are correct. It is so good. Psychological thriller, action, suspense, drama. It's got it all. Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne. The scene where they're in the dojo doing the fight training. Oh, incredible. Yeah, boats and hoes forever. Prestige. Worldwide. All right, now the tuxedos look kind of fucked up. Favorite movie all time? Probably Syriana. James, I don't even know that movie off the top of my head. I'm going to IMDb it right now. Syriana. Oh, get out of here. 2005 movie. Is that Matt Damon? Yeah, it's Matt Damon and George Clooney. How did I never see this? Just bad timing. I must have been. I'm in middle school in 2005. Looks like a drama. A politically charged epic about the state of the oil industry in the hands of those personally involved and affected by it. Huh, I'll have to check this out. This looks pretty interesting. Interesting. Amanda Peet. Got a good cast. Who's the director? Stephen Goggin. I don't know him. I've literally never seen this movie. Never even heard of it. That's a good shout. It'll sit with you for a while. Ooh, I like those. I like those type of movies that sit with you. Heavy. Come on, do it. Let's do it. Come on. Damn, I should have uploaded the eliminator ranks that I got. It's Gibbs. This is a 30-second eliminator. Oh, nice. I mean, A.J. Brown, probably who I would have taken if McConkey was gone. Very nice start. Gibbs, McConkey, sign me up. Who we got in here? I see. Well, I'm in the 6th spot. Jason Calhoun in the 10th spot. The Sentry. James Young in the 12th spot. Some friend. Hey, we can all make it out. We can all advance out of the first round. Get to the head-to-heads. James starts with Derrick Henry, Brian Thomas. I like that. Jason goes with Amon-Ra and Achane. I like that start too. Gibbs, McConkey for me. We all did kind of a similar thing. A really nice wide receiver paired with a running back. I mean, seems like a solid way to start out any eliminator. Try to get hot. Try to catch the teams that are going to hit in week 1, 2, 3. Come out the gates hot. It's hard to know that. I haven't done enough research to know who those teams are. Let me know in the chat if you've done any research on the early season schedules, any kind of research that says which teams start off the season, with high scoring games or whatever Vegas would project, I guess, for the game totals. I remember like the Saints putting up a ton of points. I think it was week 2 last year. Didn't see that one coming, so you never know who it's going to be. I want to stay pretty balanced. I want a high floor, a high ceiling. Rashee Rice. I'm going to take Rashee Rice here. Feels good. I think he gets right back to it. I think he should be healthy week 1. Hopefully doesn't have to knock any dust off, miss any games, miss any snaps even. Let me think. How does this one sound? Ballsy intro, but without the Arnold Schwarzenegger added in. I think this could be a nice little vibe. The Eliminator. Ooh, JSN at pick 34. That's kind of a nice value. And then Hubbard goes 35. I mean, I have seen Hubbard go very early in these formats. I took him around pick 40 a few times. 35 is pretty aggressive. I would have preferred Devontae Adams myself. And then Kamara at 38, also very aggressive. But hey, get your guys. Maybe they start the season hot. Big workloads projected for Hubbard and Kamara at the very least. James goes ahead and pulls up Jalen Hurts. I don't mind that. We'll see. I don't know if this is the Mahomes team for me. I feel like Mahomes is a bit expensive. I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers had more touchdowns last season than Patrick Mahomes did. Aaron Rodgers famously last season, more touchdowns than Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels did kind of miss a game. 28 touchdowns for Rodgers, 28 touchdowns for Josh Allen through the air. Obviously, a completely different situation on the ground with Josh Allen, but just for perspective, you know, a late Aaron Rodgers seems like a pretty good value now that we know he's not retiring. We know he's going to be a starter. There's no bench risk. There is some hesitation about the Steelers. Okay. Back on the clock. Marvin Harrison is there. I don't know that I can pass that up. I do like Mike Evans. I cannot pass up this ADP. I'm going to get it slightly more unique because of how far he falls. That's like 8 picks past ADP in this early 4th round. Year 2 player, just like Ladd McConkey, could have a big breakout. That's nice. Gives me a really fun option at QB too. Man, I have not drafted Marvin Harrison in a minute. A player I was drafting a ton of during the big board and taking so much Kyler Murray. That gives me a fun option for QB around pick 91, 102. I've checked the ADP in this format for Kyler. It looks like he goes at pick 93, 94. I'm glad I have Gibbs to anchor me down. I've gotten some nice values on these receivers. That reminds me, tomorrow night, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, BALLSY, featuring myself and Bindles on Bindles' channel this week. Link in description. I know you're already subscribed. We're having on Emo Cowboy, the one, the only. We're going to be drafting some Best Ball Manias. Oh, man. I love all of these picks here. I'm obsessed with Courtland Sutton and Jamison Williams. And Travis Hunter, too. It's like, oh, man. I'm going to go Jamison Williams. I wish I could take him and Sutton. But if I'm going to take one, I'm going to take JMO. An even better case for why I could go Goff around pick 115. In this format, I haven't memorized all the ADPs exactly. Looks like Goff goes 111, 110, which lines up with Amon-Ra. So I'm going to keep my eye on Jason and what he does at QB since he has Amon-Ra. I might want Goff on this one. I might want Kyler, though. I'd probably take Kyler at pick 91. Man, I love these receivers. Ladd McConkey, Rashee Rice, Marvin Harrison, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. If this was like a dynasty startup, single QB. All right, let's see what happens. Jamal Jennings goes a little bit earlier than I would expect. I guess he's a veteran, so those guys go a little bit higher. Pickens at 58 is very nice. James Conner at 60, I like. Waddle at 61, I don't mind it. Ridley at 63, it's a steal. Man, you get Pickens and Ridley at 58, 63. I'm pretty jealous of that. How many elims have I done? I think this is getting close to 10. And then I've done like 3 or 4 on other people's channels. So I'm only about like, at most, like, you know, in that 15 range. Feels like I should have done more already, but plenty of time left. I do want to start focusing on the elims for a little while. I've already done 42 or 43 best ball manias, so time to pivot a little bit. Unless Underdog opens up a new tournament in the next 4 or 5 days, I'll probably rock some elims or some sprints for a while. Oh, wow. Another Travion team? Why not? Eliminator. Travion Henderson, Chris Olave. What do I pick next? 78. I like Olave a lot. I'm good with going Travion Henderson here for the upside. Maybe he just comes and smashes right out the gate. Very explosive player, good pass catcher. You've seen what he can do in the screen game if you watched the college football semifinal against Texas. Right before halftime, last play before halftime, Travion Henderson. Screen pass, 60 yards to the house. Hardly even touched. Against one of the best defenses in college football. The best defense in college football last season against opponents in terms of giving up big plays. And that one play changed the entire game. The entire momentum, the entire vibe of the game. So Travion, he's a home run hitter. Paired up with Gibbs, McConkey, Rashi Rice, Marvin Harrison, J-Mo. I've got decisions. At pick 91, is Mahomes still there? Do I want Kyler regardless? Is this a Drake May team? Is this a Jared Goff team? Herbert, I'm hoping, will be a nice option a little later than that. I need to refresh the. I'm looking right now on my phone at the ADP for the quarterbacks. It's a slightly different or slightly ahead of schedule in this format. That's a good question. 100? 120? I don't know that I'll be able to max it just from a timing standpoint. I'm not sure. It really just depends on how many tournaments they open and how many other tournaments I get into. Hawkinson, I don't know, felt like it. Just a little early. As I started to look at the receivers, I would have liked Jaden Reed, but we'll see. I felt pretty good with the 4 that I have. I think Hawkinson is kind of a tier break at the tight end position. You could argue Kelsey, Jonnu, Mark Andrews, but I think Hawkinson, a fine pick there. Kind of snap picked him last second. Thought, you know what, let me go tight end. And then I'll probably wait on tight end until like the last round or 2. Addison going 75. That feels about right. Maybe even a pick or 2 later than that, or even a half round later. Because of the suspension risk, that makes a lot of sense. Ooh. Xavier Worthy, Patrick Mahomes? No. No. Just taking Mahomes at 82. It's the eliminator format. Why not? Where did Xavier Worthy go? Pick 52. Interesting. What up, Nick Bach? Yep, sorry, just missed this Elam 30-second. Yeah, we are. We're into it a little bit. What up, Chris B? How you doing, brother? Appreciate it, as always. Appreciate the kind words. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a great Sunday evening. Ooh, Caleb Johnson almost made it all the way back around. I slightly considered taking him at 78. Didn't feel like the right format for him. Like the upside, of course, but kind of risky with a third round running back. He only has to beat out Jalen Warren for snaps, so not the biggest competition. Maybe Aaron Rodgers there. Kind of makes it even more interesting from an upside perspective. People are worried that Diggs misses some games to start the season. I think that's what that is. Man, I really want to go Mooney here. Or even Downs or Mason. What's my next pick? 102. I got to go Kyler. If I'm taking Marvin Harrison, where I did 43, nice little fall, but the McBride drafter would take Kyler Murray 10 out of 10 times, having 2 shots at 95, 98. So I'll take Kyler there. I like the pick anyways. Ooh, Cup goes. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk slightly falling because of the injury risk. Making choices for me. I wonder how far for Ayuk. I wonder how far for Ayuk, really. Ooh, do I need the running back here, or do I need the receiver? I'm going to grab Cam. Play for upside. Push QB a little bit. QB's more replaceable. Let me get what could be the best rookie running back in this class, not named Ashton Genty. I wouldn't be too surprised. We'll see, Nick. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see, though. But I'll definitely let you know. I guess so. I guess that's what it was. He kept falling. You'd think the Aaron Rodgers news actually improves his ADP just because the team will be better and score more points. But I don't know how to explain that. Feeling good. 100%. Always staying fluid. Trying to learn every day, take in new information, understand what other people are doing, listening to the sharp drafters, taking the good, block out the bad, feeling the flow. It's like a carousel. It goes up and down and round and round. It's a good feeling. That's a Happy Gilmore quote. Speaking of, like and subscribe. Kevin Neely, right? That's who that is, isn't it? Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon? Yeah, Kevin Nealon. Why did I say Neely? Kevin Nealon. Classic. What has Brady's got? He has Josh Allen early with McCaffrey, AJ Brown, McLaurin, Sutton. That feels pretty sweet. He goes Javonte. Guess what? It's a Jared Goff season. Wow. I didn't think Goff would come back around. Love it. Go with my Gibbs. Jameson, just a big team bet on the Lions. Pairing a pocket passing quarterback like Jared Goff with Kyler Murray, who they need to unlock Kyler Murray's rushing upside. They need to give him more rushing attempts. That's how he's going to hit his ceiling. Feels good. Very nice. I do not regret taking Cam Scatterbo there at all. In fact, pretty psyched about it. Let's roll the clip. Incredible. Catching passes, breaking tackles, the jukes, the stiff arms, the truck stick, the hands. Love to see it. Herbert would have been nice. Of course he goes. Would have been nice. I'm going to grab Luther Burden. Felt like time to circle back to wide receiver. The early bye week is slightly concerning, but not the end of the world. Tootin, of course, could have been a really fun pick there. I'll hope that Henderson and Scatterbo can get it done. Gibbs. Let me think about this. Quarterback-wise, I was half expecting to be able to get Herbert at pick 126. He went before that, right at his ADP, to the drafter who took Trey Harris. Yeah, that's how that goes. I mean, I took Kyler Murray from him, so he comes back. It's his second QB. He took Purdy before that. Interesting. Tootin goes the very next pick. I still like Burden. I like his upside. I'm not worried about the soft tissue injury. I think they'll find ways to use him right away. Yeah, but great question, Nick. Just trying to stay fluid. I update my ranks probably 4 or 5 times a week, so that helps. And then just taking in whatever news I can. Haha, let's go. Yeah, 100%. I agree with JT. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, sometimes we get in the vibe. Turn it on. What up, Bindles? Stud. How you doing? We got the show tomorrow night on Bindle's channel. Ballsy with Emo Cowboy. Gonna be a fun time. Don't miss out. You're gonna want to be there. Come draft a best ball mania with us. Chill in the chat. Always an entertaining time. Always great guests. Got a lot of things coming. This is a 30-second eliminator in round 12. Got to start to plan for my third QB option before it gets too much later. Pick 139, 150 coming up. Oh, wow. JJ McCarthy. Now the Hawkinson pick seems pretty appropriate. Love it. If this team even makes it to week 8, the odds are, of course, very slim, but McCarthy in week 8 could be enough. I do need to kind of avoid week 8 from here on out, whether it's at the wide receiver, running back. I'm obviously done at QB, but definitely got to consider that going forward. I would have taken Kraft or Jack Besh potentially. But nice. This team's really coming together, I think, well. More of an anchor running back approach with Gibbs. I still get Travion Henderson. I still get Scattaboo. The first 4 wide receivers, very strong. Semi-elite tight end with Hawkinson stacked up with McCarthy. I've got Marvin Harrison Jr. with Kyler Murray. And Jared Goff was a faller as well. Got him with my Gibbs, my first round pick. And then Jameson Williams. So I'm liking this team. I'm not sure yet. I'm honestly not sure yet. I'll let you know, though. I'll let you know soon. Got to feel it out. Does Ferguson make any sense at all? Let me just cue it up. I kind of like the Thielen pick. Running back just disappeared. Thielen does more for this one than Ferguson does. I don't think there's any running backs there that I would take. I'm going to push running back a little bit further, but it's about due. I would have considered Eckler or Algier or maybe even Roshan. 3, 3, 6, 1. In the middle of the 13th round of this 30-second eliminator, I grab Adam Thielen. I'm not afraid to pick him. I think he's still really strong. Good end zone target. Can have some spike weeks. Hopefully. Davis says, if you draft Herbert, is the goal mainly for playoffs, hoping to get 1 or 2 advancement games? I think for Herbert, it would just be to stack up with Ladd. For some synergy there. Kind of like team stacking, making one bet on one of my highest draft capital players. I kind of do lean 3 QB in this format. What up, Ben? How you doing, brother? How's your weekend going? What are you drafting tonight? What are you getting into? I think I saw you in someone's draft earlier today, if I'm not mistaken. Superflex? Oh, I saw you in Mason's chat as well. Hope you're having a good Sunday, man. Pick coming up. Yikes. Kind of an early buy, but still a good pick. Don't need a QB, obviously. Jalen Wright, maybe. Doesn't feel like a great value. Tillman, any of these guys, big nopes. I'm going to take Freiermuth. I like him. I'm not worried about trade rumors. Kind of some early buys for the tight ends. I don't know if that matters. Might end up going with 3. I've got 6 wide receivers, 3 running. I need to take a running back soon. I almost took Wright there. I feel like Wright has a pretty low floor, so I wasn't super excited to grab him right off the bat, like at that pick. Round 15 seems a little bit better. There's just a lot of running backs in this tier. I think it's very flat. So like I said, I would rather take Freiermuth there. We see 2 other tight ends go off the board. Only 2 running backs have gone in this round. It's mostly quarterbacks and another tight end. So I think I made the right choice. Oh, eliminate. Does that make it different for Herbert? But he only had 1 3-touchdown game last year. I don't know. I guess you probably want to prioritize QBs with the rushing upside. I feel like I get that out of Kyler, which could be nice, just for the high weekly floor scoring. With a lot of these pocket passers, they could kind of dip lower. It sounded like potentially they're going to use Herbert, use his legs a little bit more, but I don't even know how you, without designed runs, I don't even know how you would realistically project that. I think I want Hunter. I'll take Jarquez Hunter here. Big fan. Never too early. Probably would have come back around if I was lucky. Why risk it? We're in round 15. Get your guys. I like Jarquez Hunter. I needed a running back. I want the upside. I want a good offense. Bunch of rookies in this one. And also, from a receiver standpoint, pretty strong. Probably just take 1 more receiver. So Alec Pierce could have been a nice piece, but maybe do something else. I don't even know if I want Shipley or Giddens. Running back's just not very appealing. I wish I had my ranks in. Where do you think Chubb goes? He could be fun for this one. Keenan Allen's the type of pick you make if you need to play catch up at receiver. I don't know that I'm playing catch up. So it seems a little bit risky. He might retire and just kind of like a dead roster spot. I think there's more upside with Pat Bryant. He can win a role in that offense. I could push wide receiver again. I've got 3 picks left, 16, 17, 18. I'm thinking potentially 2 more running backs and a receiver, and then just call it quits with the 2 tight ends. I think Pat Bryant makes a lot of sense for this team. Some upside, a rookie wide receiver could carve out a role early. Going late enough. The running backs just seem so flat. And then tight end wise, maybe these 2 guys I kind of like. Could just take a last round tight end. Might be worth it. Honestly, might be better just to take some more swings on some running backs. Kind of how I'm feeling. Ben, a fan favorite, a chat favorite, of course. Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Very consistent. Yeah. Yes, I did see the powerful Who Hames was ripping some super flexes. Looks like he just finished up his stream. Always fun. Dad. Hashtag QBs matter. I think I'm going to trademark hashtag QBs matter and then charge a 10-cent royalty every time someone uses it, because I could start paying for some of these Best Ball Mania entries real quick. The amount of times I've heard this from Dad in the chat. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight? What's going on? What are you drafting? Yeah, interesting. We can look at it. This is a great thing to look into. I love looking into some of these kind of questions. I think after this draft, maybe we can do a little bit of research on Herbert. Not a player I've done a ton of research on going into this 2025 season, so maybe there's something to learn there. I'm going to get my guys this late. I'm going to go Emmanuel Wilson. I'm probably going to take another running back too. Kind of ugly. Miles Sanders, Nick Chubb, Raheem Mostert. Kind of ugly. Maybe just some projectable volume. I don't know. Or is Conklin a good just third tight end piece on this? Because I went Hawkinson, I'm going to hope that's enough. Wide receiver feels good with the 7 that I have. Devon Vele goes. Don't always see that. Gunnar Helm goes. Interesting. Jason with the Gunnar Helm in round 18. I kind of like it. Seems very ballsy for an eliminator. Man, I think I'm going to go Chubb here. Texans are on bye week in week 6. Just maybe capitalize on some news. Who knows? I don't think I've ever built a running back room like this before. I like it though. 3, 6, 7, 2. Nice positional depth at the positions that matter. Tight end's a little thin, but Hawkinson, maybe he holds it down. Freiermuth a little bit undervalued as well. Nick Chubb, last round pick. Haven't clicked him a single time in 2025 until right now. I don't know. Feels fine. Yeah, for QJ, man, takes me back. Quentin Johnston. Year 3 breakout incoming. Yeah, Pat Bryant. What up, Dragonheart? How you doing, brother? How's your Sunday going? Hope you're getting ready for a great week. Maybe ripping some drafts before Monday comes. We just finished a 30-second eliminator, probably like my 10th or 11th or 12th on the channel. I've done a bunch with other people, and I feel like I've watched a bunch of eliminator streams. Read some eliminator strategy. I feel pretty good about this one. Like I was saying, a 3, 6, 7, 2, build out some depth. I pray that I never auto pick QJ. Thad, a notorious player take drafter. Yeah, I think Trey Harris can be very interesting. Mike Williams, I just don't know if he's Dust Williams. I was kind of out on Mike Williams last year. That worked out nice. I think the Chargers could be just a very interesting team with all the offensive weapons, pieces they have. Harris, McConkey in year 2. McConkey in year 2, watch out. They bring in Conklin, a big upgrade at tight end in my mind. And then the whole running back situation. You go from Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins to Najee Harris and Omari and Hampton. That seems like a pretty big upgrade to me. So I think the Chargers offense could be pretty nice. Yeah, Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt. I thought about those two. I haven't clicked him as much. I'm kind of afraid with Jerome Ford because I believe in Quinshon Judkins, and I think also Dylan Sampson's not bad. With Kareem Hunt, very uninspiring Super Bowl performance, very volume, opportunity dependent 2024 results. Fully healthy Pacheco, which I expect, takes his role back, and then Brashard Smith maybe is a passing down specialist. That could be interesting. So I don't know. I could definitely take them at sometimes. Let me know. Are you drafting Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt in round 18? Yeah, save the Gunnar Helm picks for Monday night. Yeah, I know Nick is a big Okonkwo fan. Definitely have picked that up. I don't hate it. I mean, he goes pretty late. Maybe not Jalen, sorry. Maybe Cam Ward is really, really good for him. Never been a big touchdown guy. 6 career touchdowns. Pretty consistent with the targets, receptions, and yardage, though. Maybe it's time for a year 4 breakout. We know he's fast. Conklin, to me, also very consistent. Not the most inspiring from the touchdown department, but could have a big year. We know Justin Herbert can get his tight ends the ball. At least maybe I think I know that. We're about to do some Justin Herbert research and find out. Thoughts on how I built this team, please? Most definitely, my friend. Well, we'll look into it. We'll definitely get into it. Oh, yeah. I like Gunnar Helm. I think he's got a lot of potential. I just don't know if it'll be in year 1 in the NFL, but optimistically, why not? So 3-6-7-2 build for me in this 30-second eliminator. I go Kyler Murray, right about ADP. Jared Goff, little slide. I kind of thought he would go earlier than that, so I'm happy about it. And then McCarthy, a nice 10-pick value. I got Gibbs with my first pick. Love it. One of my favorite clicks in 2025. Henderson, Scattaboo, a lot of upside there. Hunter, talk about upside. Emmanuel Wilson for some guaranteed touches, some work, and a really good rushing offense, the Packers. Chubb to the Texans, maybe worth a click. We'll find out. But I'm going to be pissed if this is premature. He comes back Monday, he fails his physical, doesn't sign with the Texans, maybe retires or goes somewhere worse off. But Mixon famously only ever gets about 65% of the snaps at running back. So there is enough room for someone to carve out a role. Could it be Chubb in that offense? Not a lot of competition for the RB2 role for the Texans. McConkey, Rice, Marvin Harrison, 8 picks past ADP. Love to see it. I'll take JMO all day long. Get the stack with him and Marvin Harrison, my QBs. Burden, Thielen, Bryant, some veterans, some rookies. Hawk, Freiermuth. I think this team, let's hope it gets out of week 1, and then we'll see where we can go from there. As long as the Cardinals and the Lions have a decent scoring output in week 1, I think we'll be all right. At least one of these quarterbacks should get it done. This is also true. Let's look at the Century, aka James Young team. 3-5-7-3. I like the structure for this format. Jalen Hurts, Tua, pretty late at that, and then Jackson Dart. I don't mind that at all. You cover your bye weeks, upside play if you make it to whatever week Darts begins to start, whether it's week 15 or whatever. If you get there, you've got an extra QB bullet, and it's like your last or second to last round pick. So I don't mind it for Dart. I just worry he doesn't start for very long, and you might get eliminated before he ever starts. So then you have a dead roster spot in essence. But who knows? The running backs look very strong to me. You got Derrick Henry, of course, James Conner, love him. Warren should get some upside benefit from the Aaron Rodgers signing. ETN seems like a slight value, but just come out of every draft with one. The Jacksonville Jaguars running back can be fine. The Dowdle pick, I don't mind that either. So some nice veteran depth. BTJ, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Reed, Nick Millions, Demario Douglas, Nick Westbrook-Akini. Why not? Last pick goes with your QB stack. This is a good first 4 wide receivers, and then you kind of did like a bimodal approach or like a barbell approach. You took 4 early, 3 late. It got a really nice tight end room, so that's one of the strengths of this team. Mark Andrews, Colston Loveland, and Dallas Goedert. That's pretty nice. I like this. This is a good squad. Ben Sinnott, What year is it, FFE Explorer? How we doing, my friend? What's going on? Steve, I think not tonight. Not tonight. I think 2 is good for tonight. I did the Greyhound. I got an eliminator in. I got to get some rest, honestly. I'm still feeling under the weather. Been under the weather for a few days. Monday's coming quick. So I think what I'll do is I want to do a little bit of research on Justin Herbert. Just a little bit. And then we'll call it. But I appreciate y'all all being here. Make sure you hit the like. Come back again for another draft soon. Tomorrow night on Bindle's channel. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Ballsy with none other than Emo Cowboy. Appreciate you, man. And what else we got going on? Yeah, a lot of drafts coming soon. So Monday night going to be on Bindle's channel. I'll be back Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, maybe even Friday. Probably. I don't think I've taken a day off of drafting and streaming in quite a while. The only days I take off is when Bindles hosts Ballsy. And we go to his channel. But I'm still there, still drafting. So that counts. Looking forward to collabing with a bunch of your favorite content creators coming up soon. We got some things working on a bunch of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Let's do a tiny bit of research on Justin Herbert. Who is Justin Herbert? This is what Nick Bach was referring to earlier. How do we adjust our priors, get different, learn something new in every draft? Let's find out. Yeah, still love you at heart. Justin Herbert, first overall draft pick in 2020 out of Oregon, of course, tall, prototype QB. Apparently very athletic. But let's learn some more. Historically, hasn't missed a whole lot of games. Pretty consistently playing 17 games. The pass attempts came down in 2024. Was that a function of the offense they're running? Harbaugh being there? They've got Greg Roman. I think they might be looking to open it up a little bit in the passing game. Get Herbert back up into these higher attempt ceiling range. I don't know if we'll ever get back there completely, but that puts him, in the Burrow pass attempt kind of bracket versus what he did last season, which was much lower. I think more similar to like Kyler Murray range. Directly impacted the passing yardage output. The yards per attempt's always been fine. Rushing yards, fine. Nice little floor there. Passing touchdowns seems to be directly correlated with the passing attempts. So if those ratchet up, we could expect 30 touchdowns. Ceiling case. He's done more than that before. Fantasy points per game. Yeah, the last 3 seasons, a bit lower than his rookie and sophomore year. He's cooled off a bit. They invested in weapons all around him. Can he get it going again? Let's check the game logs. Oh, Herbert explosive rating. Number 9 in passing explosiveness. Number 12 in rushing. 63 explosive plays. That's about 4 per game, almost. Number 8 overall. That's pretty nice. Okay, Hartman, you're banned. You're unmodded. I won't take any Gunnar Helm slander. Get out of here. I think Chig's a fine pick. He's probably super undervalued. He's gone higher in prior summers. Herb explosiveness. Yeah. This just end. Her explosiveness. Advanced stats, pretty good for deep ball. Very attractive game script. Nice, decent protection rate. We could see some improvement from the passing touchdowns, maybe from the attempts. Still number 9 in passing yards. Number 4 in air yards, so 5 in money throws. You know, this is some really attractive advanced metrics around Herbert. Number 5 in deep ball completion percentage. That lines up with Trey Harris in my mind, if I'm not mistaken. Herbert, a little undervalued where he's going in drafts, is what this tells me, which I kind of always thought. Ooh, passer rating versus zone and man, both pretty strong. A little bit better versus zone. I like what I'm seeing. Very good signals for McConkey. Look at the game logs. What do we see here? What do we see? What do we see in these game logs? Kind of a lack of passing touchdowns. I do remember that last season. I definitely remember that. More games with 0 or 1 passing touchdowns than 2 or 3. Just about. They're 19 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 19. Yeah, just slightly more games with 0 or 1 touchdowns than 2 or 3. The 1 3-touchdown game coming in week 17. QB 10 for the week. Some nice yardage down the stretch. Interesting stuff. I like this. I think I'm in. I think I'm still in. The floor is a little bit lower than I would have thought, but I do remember that being the case last season. Maybe that's a result of just how they were doing things last season. The ceiling is pretty nice. It could be better. It does seem like more of a middling to middling output, low output to middling output, high end, still not gonna get you past, Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen in a given week. Let's go back to 2021. Simpler times. Well, not really, but there's the ceiling I'm looking for. 4 passing touchdowns in week 3, 4 passing touchdowns in week 5. Jeez. 43 fantasy points, 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, the rushing touchdown. That's the ceiling I want to see. Something we haven't talked about yet. Yo, what up, Al Boog? How you doing, brother? What's going on? We're about to learn something about Justin Herbert. Something we didn't mention yet is his injury history. He rolled into 2025 with a high ankle sprain in week 3. That's going to hurt you. That's going to make it hard to move around in the pocket, complete some throws, mobility, all that stuff. Had the broken index finger the year before, which, along with the fractured finger in week 6, that's not nothing. But on 9 injury reports with the ankle last season, I think we chalk up part of last year's lack of ceiling in the game logs to what happened. Of course, it's not so impressive in weeks 1 to 3, but after that, he warmed up a bit. He had some better games. Still, it is really down the stretch. He started to turn it back on. We need to see more from Justin Herbert. He's got the potential. They're setting him up for success with this offense. We got to see more. Conclusion, I think he's somewhat fairly priced, but when you factor in the upside we saw with his rookie and sophomore year, that's what you want to hope for his ceiling outcome. 35, 40-point games, breaking the slate. Maybe he can do it again. Appreciate y'all being here, drafting me tonight. We did the single entry Greyhound. Pretty nice. Got a Nico Collins, Christian Kirk, CJ Stroud double stack in that one. Just wrapped up an eliminator that I thought was pretty good. Pretty good. Jamar Gibbs. Anytime I get Jahmyr Gibbs. Anytime you have Jahmyr Gibbs, it's kind of hard to mess up, especially if you get some nice receivers early, some upside rookie picks. Don't fumble the tight end room. Maybe running back's the weakness here, but I've got Gibbs anchoring it down with a bunch of upside rookies and then some veteran pieces that might get some touches. I like this squad. I think it's fun. Tomorrow night, I'll see you guys 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on Bindles channel. Link in the description. Make sure you're subbed there for Ballsy with Emo Cowboy. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's kick it to the outro.